Most Republicans and even some Democrats have come out in support of the president's decision to strike Iranian nuclear sites, and that includes Eastern Washington Congressman Michael Baumgartner. He is joining us live via telephone tonight. Congressman Baumgartner, thank you for joining us. You put out a statement yesterday congratulating President Trump for a job well done. And can you explain why it's your belief the military strikes to Iran's nuclear sites were necessary?
Well, the Iranian regime has been the number one state sponsor of terrorism globally and has been killing Americans for the last 40 years. And the idea that they would have a nuclear weapon is extremely dangerous. And the president has significantly degraded their chance of having a nuclear weapon. And that's making every American safer, and every American should congratulate him.
Congressman, there's some reporting out today that suggests the U.S. strikes may not have destroyed Iran's nuclear sites. The Washington Post, citing a person familiar with the intelligence report, said the strikes failed to destroy core components of Iran's nuclear program and may have only set it back for a matter of months. If that's the case, what course of action should the U.S. take? And I ask because President Trump said today Israel should not expect any more offensive military action against Iran from the U.S.
Well, the sites have certainly been significantly degraded. There's some disputes about the accuracy of this report, but certainly Iran has a lot less of a nuclear program today than they had 2 weeks ago. But, you know, that can always be reconstituted. America needs to maintain vigilance and have all options on the table. I mean, this Iranian regime is not going to have nuclear weapons. That's the key takeaway from what happened over the past few days. But it doesn't mean the Middle East is suddenly a peaceful place. There's going to be continuing challenges as well. And so I think the president, the high point of the President Trump's time in office is the way he has dealt with the Middle East. Whether it was the ordering the assassination of Qasem Soleimani, who helped kill over 1,000 Americans in Iraq and Afghanistan, or the way he's dealt with the Abraham Accords or this nuclear strike. He really has been a tremendous leader when it's come to Middle East issues.
We mentioned at the top that a lot of Republicans, even some Democrats, have come out in support of the U.S. airstrikes on Iran nuclear sites. But a lot of the criticism from members of Congress who oppose the U.S. airstrikes, they raise the point that President Trump took this action without going through Congress. They call the strikes unconstitutional because only Congress can authorize war. Are you at all concerned about a U.S. president using the military to strike another country without Congress approving it?
Well, he certainly has the authority under Article 2 of the Constitution, which makes him the commander-in-chief. Obviously, I do like to have Congress involved, but, you know, a lot of the same Democrats that are criticizing President Trump said nothing when President Obama launched several months' worth of strikes on Libya without congressional approval. So, you know, shocked that there's some political hypocrisy in the attacks that are going on. But, you know, the president has been in close contact with House leadership, and it was the right call for him to reduce these nuclear issues. And again, Iran has been attacking Americans for over 40 years, whether it was the Marines that were killed in Lebanon, the service members that were killed in Khobar Towers attack in Saudi Arabia, or the 1,000 Americans that were killed in Iraq and Afghanistan by Iranian proxy groups. So certainly the president has the authority to protect America and not allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon.
Congressman, I have time for one last question. This has kind of some local ties. I'm not sure if you're able to answer it or not, but I'll ask it. As you know, Fairchild Air Force Base, home to the 92nd Air Refueling Wing and its fleet of KC-135s. Can you tell us if they were part of this mission to refuel the bombers used in Operation Midnight Hammer?
Well, I won't speak to any specifics on that, but we tremendously appreciate our refueling airmen and airwomen that work on the refueling mission. I was in Qatar about 2 months ago looking at our counterterrorism operations, and when I got back from Qatar in Iraq, I was out at Fairchild, and there was a fleet of tankers headed over to Qatar. So we continue to have the brave men and women of Fairchild Air Force Base out protecting us, and we really, really appreciate it.
And one final note, Mr. Baumgartner, what's your message to Americans who might be worried or concerned that this may lead to some longer, prolonged conflict in the Middle East?
Well, you know, the Middle East is a dangerous place. Fortunately, we've pumped a lot more oil here at home, so it makes the Middle East less important to us as Americans. But we're going to continue under this president, and with my role in Congress, we're going to continue to protect America and deal with these challenges. And so I think everybody should sleep safer tonight, feel safer tonight when they go to bed after what's happened the last 12 days, because nothing is more dangerous in this world than having the spread of nuclear weapons, and we significantly reduce the chance of that happening.
Congressman Baumgartner, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
You too.